And good afternoon. Welcome to opening day here at historic Pimlico Racecourse. I'm Stan Salter, Keith Fustel. Today at the race is presented by Fidelity First. And here we go. It's the big Preakness meet here at Maryland's Marquee Track. And let's show you what we have going on for the whole meet here at Pimlico. It's a 3-week meet, and we'll show you what we have coming up here for the opening. But happy opening day to you.
Good to be back. Enjoy it. You know, I grew up here, basically. This is where I cut my teeth when it came to handicapping and betting. Always good to be back at Pimlico for opening day.
All right, good stuff. Let's just get right to the Preakness stuff. Forget the opening day. Everybody knows it's opening day, guys. Let's get right to the Preakness ticket information. All right, there we go. Preakness tickets on sale. Preakness.com for all your tickets and information. Turfside Terrace tickets still on sale. Infield Fest tickets on sale. So go to Preakness.com for all that. We have a Preakness probable board here. Let's show you who the probables are for the middle jewel of the Triple Crown. Always Mining, riding that big win streak. Your big emphatic winner of the Tessio. Another twist of fate. The winner out there at Golden Gate, Bodie Express. He ran in the Kentucky Derby. Then you have Bourbon War and probable for Bob Baffert from the Kentucky Derby. Owendale, your Lexington winner at Keeneland. Signal Man and War of Will from the Kentucky Derby. So there's the probables right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, no shot at a Triple Crown this year.
Right.
But we've got it, I think, from a betting standpoint. And we're all about the betting stand. This is what it's about.
Yep.
I think it's one of the better ones in recent memory from a better standpoint, from a gambler standpoint. A little bit more value going to be offered within this Preakness Stakes.
All right, so yeah, we don't need the Derby winner. It's a tougher race.
It's about cashing a ticket, isn't it?
Yeah, about cashing a ticket. We'll have the favorites. Not going to be a heavy price favorite by any means in a wide open Preakness this year.
Yeah, with Baffert coming aboard late and probable is going to be the morning line favorite. I think 9-5, maybe as low as 8-5 or 2. We'll just see how it all ends up when we get ready closer to the draw. But he's going to be your post-time favorite. I would certainly think so. I mean, the Baffert factor, Mike Smith factor, you've got that all going. He was the favorite in the Kentucky Derby.
They're pretty tough, the Baffert Mike Smith team. So that's coming up Saturday, May 18th. Preakness.com for all your tickets and information. Let's get right to it. We have a big 9-race card to kick things off. Let's show you a picture of both the main track and the turf. The turf looks beautiful. We're fast and firm here on opening day.
You just want to go out there and roll around on that turf course, don't you?
That's right.
Drop a couple golf balls down and work on the lob wedge game.
Right. Take out a couple 30 packs like we used to back in the old infield days. So that's all right. We got the bands out there, some of the top EDM bands in the world this year at Infield Fest. So let's get right to it here. We showed you the conditions board already, fast and firm. Let's get right to it here. Race 1 is going to kick off the early pick 5. The popular early pick 5 is a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. It's an industry low 12% takeout on both your pick 5s here at Pimlico. Let's take a look here at race 1. I have a ticket here. Let's take a look at my ticket for the early pick 5. It's a very affordable $32 ticket. I'll go 2 deep here in race 1. The 5's my top pick, Grande Flora with Trevor McCarthy. McCarthy, your leading rider at the recently concluded spring meet at Laurel. The 7, Uncle Huge, is going to be tough from the outside as well. So 5-7 here in the opener. Going 4 deep in race 2 with the 1-2. 5-6. That's a wide open maiden 40,000 for 2-year-olds going 4.5 furlongs. I use all 4 first-time starters on top there in the second race. Race 3. That's a nice turf sprint starter allowance company. I go with the 1 Madame Tiger, but the 7 Ion Berlin's going to be tough. Race 4. Nice beat, an 8,000 claimer going 2 turns. I go 4 deep there with the 3, 5, 7, 8, and then I'll single on Trevor McCarthy with the 2 Ministers Strike. Coming off the layoff, first off the claim for Jamie Neff, coming off a long layoff. We'll get a decent price. He'll be one of the favorites in race 5. We'll still get a decent price on the 2 Ministers Strikes. That's my key horse on the early pick 5. Let's take a look. Race 1, we're going 5 furlongs on the turf, rail setting at 20 feet. So 16,000 starter allowance. The condition is started for 16,000 or less in their last 3 starts or claiming 25,000. So a new starter allowance condition here. We both like a 5-7, 7-5 on top. You get McCarthy on the 5. Grandy Flora coming off the layoff for trainer Ann Merriman. This horse, last time we saw him going a mile on a yielding turf course at Laurel Park in the Maryland Million Turf. A good third that day with a front end trip. He's one for 19 at the distance, so he doesn't have that going in his favor. But you do get McCarthy. The horse likes it here on the Laurel grass. He's been working well here. I'm sorry, likes it here on the Pimlico grass. He's been working well here on the Pimlico main track. This is his home track. This is where Ann Merriman is stabled. You see a lot of the Pimlico horses winning early on here. So I'll go with the 5, Grandy Flora on top.
Coming back at the age of 8. Yeah, he likes the Pimlico turf course. Right. He doesn't mind sprinting at all. Will he need a race is the key. Granda Flora sprinting only 1 for 19 at this distance, but got the right kind of rider. And we'll have some speed to target. Call Will as a scratch out of this race. I think the whole key is Tricky Lion. Which Tricky Lion shows up? He's kind of hasn't shown that customary speed the last couple starts. He shows a blazing number on the bottom of the pages. Now we're going back to 2017 on the grass, but rapid pace. I don't know what's happened the last 2. I know he can handle the turf. I think Uncle Huge, he's the proven horse. He loves the distance. He's got a clear break from the outside. If he clears, I think he's gone in here. Grand Flora, though, certainly Trevor's going to work out a trip, save some ground, probably shift out and make a run.
Yeah, but Uncle Huge with Katie Davis. Katie can probably dictate the early terms here on this speed ball from the outside. A 7-time winner on the grass. He's made almost 200,000 on the turf. So yeah, he'll be awfully tough. I'm taking a shot by going against him here. He's going to get the trip with that speed on the outside.
The key to him, I think, is Tricky Lion. Other than that, I don't see anybody being able to run with Uncle Huge early. Grand Flora just does not have that kind of speed going short. So if it dual develops, then you really got to be worried about the 5. Your other horse to maybe kind of make a run from the back, Fly E Dubai.
Okay, all right. So nice turf sprint, starter allowance to kick off the early pick 5. Let's turn the page here. Race 2 is a maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-olds, going 4.5 furlongs. It starts the early pick 4. Keith, you have an early pick 4 ticket. Let's check it out. See how you play.
Very affordable ticket, $18 to get you started here at Pimlico. The early pick 4, first one of the meet. 2, 5, and 6 to get you started in race 2. We're going to compare it down a little bit, go with the 7 and the 8. 8's a little flyer shot, Queen of Schmooze. I'm going to go against the inside Madam Tiger. It's going to take a lot of play for Claudio. I'm going to try to go for a little bit longer shot with the 8, Iron Berlin, proven on the grass. 4th race, 3, 7, and 8, kind of a wide open affair there. We're going to compare it down a little bit in the 5th with the 2, Minister Strike, and the 3, Berliner. $18 is your ticket.
Okay, let's take a look here at the second race. I went 4 deep in this race on my early pick 5 ticket. Maiden 40 for 2-year-olds, 4.5. Scratch to 4 total access. I go with the 5 on top here on the turf for John Salzman Jr. We know how good Salzman is with the 2-year-olds. This colt's by Imagining. Jorge Riez will ride some nice works at Laurel Park, including a Bullet, May 4, 35 and 4. Some good half-mile works as well. So I'm hoping this horse can break sharp, has a good outside post, and can get right to the front here.
Yeah, Imagining the sire pretty much all turf all long, right? We were wondering how the 2-year-olds were going to take the sprinting on the dirt. We saw Jerry Robb first to show a lot of speed, and one of those horses by Imagining the other day at a big price. I think ran third at 18-20 to 1. But on the turf, certainly used their bottom side jazz band. This makes this one a half to jazzy idea. We know how good that horse was, and a couple 2-year-old winners in the family. I go to the far outside there with a just 1, not 2 for Wayne Potts by New Year's Day. Doing pretty good with first couple crops. The 2-year-olds are running well.
About maximum security.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, and these 2-year-olds are hitting about a 17% clip first time out. This horse is a half to deep red. Jen Miller for Wayne Potts. You go back a couple years ago, they really were pairing up with some 2-year-olds. I think going back, jockey trainers back in 2017, they were 4 for 10 with 2-year-old first time starters, 6 for 10 in the money. Miss Charade's proven as a broodmare there. We got the half to deep red. I think this horse is going to be live first out.
All right, so I used the 6. We both like the 2 as well. So Street, you get Trevor McCarthy on this Jamie Ness 2-year-old by Street Magicians. The Street Magicians, they can run early. They run on anything. This horse been working well up there at Delaware. A couple bullet works coming in today. McCarthy takes the call for Ness. This horse going to be well played, I would imagine.
Yeah, Ness about 20% with his 2-year-old maiden claiming firsters on the dirt. You look at the family, the mare Sauvain. Both full brothers are winners. They haven't won a lot. They've made some money, but certainly this horse should be well prepared Ness, and McCarthy teaming up.
All right, so nice group of maiden 2-year-olds there. In a second, let's take a look here at race 3. We're going 5 furlongs on the turf, rail setting at 20 feet. Nice 12-5 starter allowance. Filly and mares 3 and up, and this one reads as like a traditional starter, starting for 12-5 or less in 2018 through now. I go with the 7 on top here. We start the rolling super high 5 here in the third race. That has a low 15% takeout. The super high 5 we have at every race with 7 or more horses. Let's take a look here at the third. I have the 7 on top. Eye on Berlin. You like the 7 as well. We have a video spotlight to show you. Here's the race for Eye on Berlin. There's a 5-year-old mare coming off the layoff. Here's the race from last summer at Laurel.
Back in August and sitting the trip, stalking the pace, is going to go ahead eventually wear down Summer Frock. But Iron Berlin finds a little seam here. It was a beautiful ride by Cruz, and going to be able to make a grinding run, make up that length and a half through the final 1/8 of a mile. Iron Berlin sustains the run. Fresh right now. I'm not worried about any kind of layoff. She is the proven turf sprinter in this race. Going to be awfully tough. Her main competition, I think, is probably going to come from Madam Tiger, the one. But Iron Berlin, Rodolfo Sanchez Salomon caught the double the other day over at Laurel.
Yeah.
He is red-eyed. Where's the stat? 5 for 17, 29% the past 30 days with an ROI of over $4 for Rodolfo Sanchez Salomon. Barn is on a tear.
All right, so we both have the 7 on top. The 1 you have on top here, Madam Tiger for Claudio, going to show a lot of speed from the inside. 0 for 1 on the turf, but Claudio going to take another shot here with this astrology filly. If she can show the same speed as she's shown on the main track, she'll be tough here from the inside.
That's my mistake. I'm 7-1 in here, guys. That's my bad. I just must have fat-fingered something this morning. But Madam Tiger, the one try on the turf was going on the way back, and that was going long without blinkers. She's in deadly form right now. Problem with Claudio, he just doesn't win with turf sprinters.
Right.
I mean, he is. Last 2 years you go back, he's 3 for 46 with this kind of move.
All right, we both like the 2 and the 3. No more excuses for Michael Merriman, a 7-year-old mare by Not for Love. She has won on the turf. It's been a while ago, and she looks like she's in decent form. A good second last out against Nickel Starter, going short on the dirt April 13th at Laurel Park. So she has speed. She gets Correa 7 pounds off with the Bug Boy. Not for Love mare. She could show up here with a front-end trip.
Absolutely. Guys, if we can change them, here's what I did. I wrote down my turf morning line favorites instead of my picks. 7-8-1-3. Let's try that. 7-8-1-3 in the third for me, guys. If you can flash that up, and I'll talk a little bit about the 8.
Sure.
Queen of Schmooze. You're looking at these done talkings. They haven't run a ton, but they've been okay on the turf. Bottom side, I glanced at this family. There is turf along the bottom. This filly can rate sprinting. I see some speed to set things up with the 2. No more excuses. Miss Cheddar, the 3, Sister Aim. These horses want to be forward. If you're looking for a horse to maybe close in and really blow things up, I would use the 8, Queen of Schmooze. So 7-8-1-3 there for me in the third.
All right, so nice little turf sprint there in race 3. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That starts in race 4. We also start the middle pick 4 in the 4th. We'll check it out right after this. All right, welcome back. Let's get right to it. The first leg of the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 is race 4. No carryover. We start fresh. It paid nice closing day at Laurel Park, the Rainbow Pick 6 with that mandatory payout. I think it paid over $9,000. Late pick 5 paid big as well. You had that Linda Albert horse win the finale last Sunday at Laurel Park. So, all right, so pick 6 here in race 4. We also kick off the middle pick 4 in the 4th race. So lots of action on this dirt route. We're going a mile and a 16th on the main track, claiming 8,003 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months. Races enter for 7 or less, not considered in the eligibility. You always have to read that part. I go with the 5 on top, and I think we'll get a decent price here on the 5. Battle Ready for the always crafty Michael Gorham. Whenever he's a price, he's live. Alex Cintron rides his 5-year-old son on Union Rags for Old Coach Farm. A nice win first off the claim against Beaten Nickel Company. Now he steps up to the Beaten 8,000 Company. I just thought this horse, there's some droppers in this race, right? There are some droppers in here. I just thought this horse was going in the right direction. The 5, Battle Ready, coming off that big win for the new barn.
And Battle Ready, he doesn't mind a battle up front. When he's right, he'll fight you tooth and nail. Now, he's got speed to his outside in Haynes Fever. He's got speed to his outside in Causey's Western. I think they're going to hound him. He's going to have to show me he can bring that race back for Mike Gorham. But you go on his go back. The old guy, he's tough. He's got some figures that work. I think things are going to be softened up a little in the thing. And with this Pimlico stretch, a little bit longer than Laurel, I don't mind the closers. I actually like them a little bit more at Pimlico than I do so at Laurel. Kind of just save ground around the turn. They give that little extra ground to come running. I like Promote. I think Promote is going to sit a great trip. We've got a video from March 1st. If you don't mind, that's great, guys. Thank you so much. Where this sat a pretty good trip. They didn't go too fast up front. 24 and 2, 48 3, 13 and 1 for the 3/4. Smart Royalty kind of out there on a loose lead, but Promote is going to make a good run from the quarter pole to the wire, close in some 4 lengths through the final 8th. And I tell you, this race was a good setup. He kind of bounced back to form. That was his open company, open nickel, which is good as, equivalent to this 8,000 condition. Promote's going to have speed to target in here, coming off a good race at Penn. That was one of the toughest 8,000 condition races I've ever seen at Penn National going back. Double key race. Those horses came back. One ran an 86 Spire. The next one, the second place finisher, ran a 73. Super strong. Promote to save ground and going to close in and nab them in the final yards.
All right, so I like the 3 as well. You have the 3 on top. We both like the 7 here on the outside. The 7 is Bobby the Brain. Trevor McCarthy on this 5-year-old for trainer Jamie Ness. Good second at this level up at Penn National. Last out, 4th at this level at Laurel Park 2 starts ago. So they ran better against easier company up there at Penn. But you get McCarthy, should get a nice trip from about mid-pack, I think.
Pretty credible race March 9th in that starter, but hasn't really kind of brought that effort back. He doesn't have a big surge. He's going to need help on the front end, but McCarthy can carry him home. I think Causey's Western, to me, is the horse to beat. That was an interesting spot last time, 7/8 of a mile. Prefer this horse going longer.
Oh, yeah, running back quick today for trainer Annette Eubanks. Katie Davis stays aboard. He'll show speed from the outside. So nice beating 8,000 there in race 4 to start the pick 6. In the middle, pick 4. Let's turn the page here. Race 5 will kick off the late pick 5. As always, that industry low 12% takeout on all the pick 5s here. Both pick 5s early and late. The Stronach 5, which Pimlico race 9 will be the second leg of tomorrow. Stronach 5 with a low 12% takeout too. Here's my ticket, $36 ticket. I'm 4 deep here in this race. I know my early pick 5, I keyed on the 2 Minister Strike, but my late pick 5, I also like the 3 Berliner, the 6 here, No More Talk, and the 8 Day Strike with Forest Boyce aboard. So 2, 3, 6, 8. Maiden 10 there in race 6. The 7 Gustavo looks awfully tough, but I also use the 9 Awesome Agenda. Nice allowance race, turf sprint in race 7. I go 3 deep there with the 6, 7, 10. The 10 is my top pick from the outside, More Abundance. And race 8 feature of the day, a 2 other than allowance, going 2 turns on the main track. I single on the 5, Throw the Fade, looking for 4 in a row this afternoon for trainer Kieran McGee. Throw the Fade, what a nice claim that 4-year-old son of Shackelford has been. So he's my best bet of the day. The 5, Throw the Fade, I single on him in race 8. Then I go 3 deep there. It's an open 12-5 going a mile on the turf. In race 9, I go with the 1, 2, and the 9 there in the finale. So $36 ticket. Let's take a look here at race 5. Race 5 is the split division of the 9th race. Claiming 12,500, 3 and up, going a mile on the turf, rail setting at 20 feet. And I'll take a shot here at the 2 Minister Strike. This horse, the morning line favorite for this race, and deservedly so. Has a good resume, has a good turf resume at least coming into today's race. A nice win on the Tampa turf with an 83 buyer back in May of 2018. Then the next couple of races, not so hot. Was claimed by Jamie Ness for $15,000 last July. Jamie waits almost a year, 10 months, comes back, brings the horse back in for 12.5. He could have found a softer spot for this horse coming off a long layoff, maybe Delaware, Penn National with an easier turf spot, but he keeps the horse here in Maryland for 12.5 with McCarthy. So I'll take a shot here on the 5-year-old son of English Channel. He's fresh and ready, and so Ness might have a nice turf horse for the year.
Yeah, fresh. Doesn't have a lot of speed, okay, but horses being fresh, sometimes they'll show a little bit more. They might be a little bit keen back into action. Jamie Ness got Ghost Hunter to win off a 196-day layoff back over at Laurel. This one off close to 300 days. Certainly a factor in your exactas. I don't think anybody's going to be pounded down at the windows in race 5. I go with the 3 Berliner, 2 for 3 at this distance. Hasn't been seen since November. But Berliner likes the turf, loves this distance, has positional speed. I think he's going to be able to get the jump on Minister Strike. And Jose Corral is quietly, he's having a pretty good run here of late. His horses are attracting a lot of money at the windows. I like Berliner to sit off the pace. The flow is going to be provided by the 4 Courtness Song and the 6 No More Talk. No More Talk, I thought he ran dead game. I know you see the finish 6 beaten 6 lengths last time out at a mile and 16th, but he was trying every step of the way. Did a lot of the dirty work up front through very quick internal fractions. I think he's going to get caught in a duel today with Courtness Song at some point. I'm worried about the drop. Why the drop in half? That hasn't been a real good move the last couple of years for Lacey. So I go 3-2, 8-9 Day Strike, another one. A little concerned right at the mile if he's going to have the finish, but he's going to be poised to make a move at the 3/8. Can he carry it home the final 3/16, final 1/8 of a mile?
Yeah. Day Strike getting back on the turf. Has a couple big turf wins under his belt. He's a 3-time winner on the turf. So Day Strike and the 6, No More Talk are interesting in here. The 3, I like your top pick there with the Bug Rider coming off the layoff for Jose Corrales. Yeah, he was red hot at the spring meet at Laurel Park.
Bit of a roll, yes.
All right, so nice turf route there in race 5. Let's take a look here at race 6 to kick off the late pick 4. We're going a mile and a 16th. Maiden claiming 10,000 3-year-olds and upward, and you try to beat the favorite here in this race. I go with the favorite on top. Gustavo looks awfully tough for trainer Anthony Aguirre. A 3-year-old by Flashback was in very good form on the main track and then tried the turf for maiden 25. That didn't go too well, but now a drop to the maiden 10 today, back to the main track, 7 pounds off with Felix Pinero. You get a nice lightweight assignment, 113. I think the 7, Gustavo, going to be a tough favorite to beat here in race 7, race 6.
Dropping, trying to get over the hump here, break the maiden. Gustavo brings the 2-back race. He's certainly going to be right into the mix. Your speed provided by the 1, Joey Gotch for Rodolfo Sanchez Salomon. Don't be surprised if this horse doesn't hang around a little bit better. The way this barn's going, he is the inside speed. He's going to go ahead and send. I'm hoping things get a little bit hot and heavy up front. Mike the Tiger, his best 2 numbers have been off of layoff. I'm taking a little stab. He's kind of a blotter. I mean, he comes from way back. But he'll be able to save every bit of ground. Nobody's going to be near him early. But his best 2 races have been off the layoff.
I use him. I just a big disappointment last out as a beaten favorite at this level late February, but now he's runs fresh for trainer Jason Egan. Like you said, he did run a big race last December, coming off that layoff when he was a good 3rd for maiden 16,000. So see if Mike the Tiger can regain his best stride today. The 9 Awesome Agenda I use in my exacta. Rosario Montanez aboard for Ricky Silliman. Silliman barn had a decent spring meet. This 3-year-old by Awesome again didn't run so well first off the claim. That was stepping up to maiden 25, cutting back in distance. Now we're dropping to the maiden 10, stretching back out to a route of ground. I think that'll wake the 9 Awesome Agenda
I think
up.
the flow is going to be more to his liking going longer stand than that. The 6 for a long distance. Maybe a little bit of a price horse. The 8 Ice Cream Dude was kind of eliminated at the break at Charlestown. Went back and watched that race. Never really got it going, but a little sneaky stat on Ferrier the last 3 years. Tony Ferrier, maiden claiming sprinters. Maiden claimers going sprint to route, 3 for 8, 4 for 8 in the money with an ROI of over $7.
All right,
there's your price user in the 6th.
All right, so the 2 I use second off the layoff, ran okay coming off that layoff for maiden 10. Could run a little bit better today for John Salzman Jr. Rosado will ride. You'll get a decent price there on the 2. If the 2 favorites don't fire here, the 7 and the 9, it's wide open here.
I agree.
In race 6. All right, let's turn the page. Race 7 will kick off the final pick 3 of the day. A nice 5-furlong turf sprint, rail setting at 20 feet. A first level allowance condition for Maryland bred, Maryland sired horses, 3-year-olds and upward. And I go to the outside, More Abundance for trainer Lucia Garibay. J.D. Acosta rides a 7-year-old son of Street Magician. This horse was in very good form last summer. A big win against Open A Other Than Company back in August. A big 79 buyer with that win, and came back a good second against Two Other Than Allowance Company. Second behind Sheikah Sheiks with a big 78 buyer. So those two races were huge. Now, if he comes back anything close to that against this restricted A Other Than Company, well, he's getting a class relief, and he'll win.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key here. Jarvis Steele and More Abundance. They're the proven ones against the better horses. Like I say, they're two other than eligible kind of turf sprinters. These other ones, they've got a little bit of work to get there. More Abundance, my only concern is maybe being hung out a little bit wide around this turn, a little bit tighter turn. Is he going to be able to make the run? If he can draft in just behind the speed, I think he's going to certainly be tough. I go with Love You Much. We've got a video spotlight. He's another one coming off of a little bit of a layoff, but I like him as a one-run sprint type. This day, Shoe Love Shoe was just too good. Was able to dictate the pace back on May the 4th of 18 at Laurel. Shoe Love Shoe, a shorter price, but I like the run the last eighth of a mile. Love You Much. Had to even steady a little bit early. This horse came running quite well. Flow's going to be good in this race. You can never tell in Jarvis Steele. They are going to be cutting it out on the front end. This horse can draft over, just position, maybe get covered up a little bit around the turn. I see a strong surge coming from the 9. Love You Much. Horses to beat, though. They are the 7 and a 10, just based on sheer class.
Yeah, I used the 7 for Ferris in my exacta. Didn't use the other Ferris Allen horse you have on top there. Love You Much. Might get a nice pace setup. Riaz and Ferris, they were doing well, winning some races together over the winter and the spring meet. The let's see, the 6, Brooks Robinson. How about Brooksy making his turf debut here? A nice maiden score. Well, both the races since getting into the Hugh McMahon barn been huge. A big second 2 starts ago, and then came back with a nice win back in late April for maiden 40. So he's in good form. He has early speed. We've seen that before. He's gone 45. He went 45 for the half last out. So he's by Not For Love. He should like the turf. Or you get Sheldon Russell to ride. I think Brooks Robinson's live here in his turf debut.
Yeah, that's the guess there. I guess you're going to have to trust you, thinking maybe the angle that this horse is going to go ahead and take to the turf. 2 bang-up races in the barn, in the new barn on the dirt course. This is just a pretty salty group there. There's a couple proven sprinters in here on the grass. He's really going to have to move up. I think he sneaks away at an okay price.
Sure. All right, so nice turf sprint there in race 7. Let's turn the page here. Race 8. Feature of the day, an upper level allowance condition, second level allowance for 3-year-olds and upward. We're going 35. We're optional claiming 35,000. We're going a mile and a 16th on the main track. My best bet of the day here's the 5, Throw the Fade. We have a video spotlight to show you. This 4-year-old son of Preakness winner Shackelford's won 3 in a row. Here's the last race from April 20th.
Yeah, got the better of stablemate there, right? Totalitarian.
Yes.
This afternoon was able to jump to the front as he's done his last 3 races, and they've all resulted in wins. And I tell you, Throw the Fade. Now we're going to go. Here's the test. No more one-turn miles. We've got to go the 2 turns at Pimlico. This is his home track. Interesting if he's going to have that rating gear possibly if the 3 Warrior of the Roses wants to go with him, or does he want to just sit outside and raid? This is going to be an interesting horse race, the opening quarter of a mile between the riders of the 5, Throw the Fade, and Warrior of the Roses. I go to the outside with the 6, Sanavi.
Hold on, we got a stat real quick. Trainer Kieran McGee here, stat for Throw the Fade.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, Throw the Fade. Kieran, last 3 years, how about this one? 6 for 16, 38%, 15 to 16 in the money. Allowance routes on the dirt, just like we've got today, and off of a top buyer fig. Everything works right there. His ROI is 367. That, the current form, everything kind of points to a big effort you would expect from Throw the Fade.
All right, so we both have. I have the 5 on top. You have the 5 on
I've got
top?
I've got him second. Just go a little bit better price to the outside with Sanavi. I can see this race. a couple of the leaders maybe get a little weary the last 16th of a mile, 70 yards. Sanavi going against the right types up at Parks and Penn, Marengo Road, who beat him last time. Well, you look back on his page, 3 races back on Marengo Road's form. He was second in a 3 other than at Laurel, running a buyer of 88. That was a race behind Clubman when Clubman won at a big price. So this horse fits. They bring the rider, tractable enough. He's going to be able to draft over. I'm not worried about the trip. He's going to get a good one. I hope he can follow through at a little bit better price.
All right, we both like the 4 as well. Trevor McCarthy on this 4-year-old colt for trainer Jerry Engelhardt coming off the layoff. Big allowance win going going a mile and 16th at Belmont last October 4th. Got a big 93 buyer that day. If he's ready to fire that kind of effort, he'll be tough coming off the layoff.
Yeah, he's another one with some speed. When he's right, he can lay close to some internals, 45 and change. Interesting enough, he won both of those state-bred races up there, so still eligible for an Open A other than. So he opts to go here a little trickier spot. This was a tough horse to line for me. I cannot get a good read off of this horse, but Engelhardt, the way he's been in Maryland, it's really tough to kind of just completely toss him.
Sure, and how about the old speedball, the 3 Warrior of the Roses, the 10-year-old for Damon Deldavico. He runs well fresh. He'll show speed. Pimlico hasn't been his favorite track. He hasn't won here, but he's run a couple big efforts here. They get him loose on the lead. He can always and he's not going to get loose on the lead with Throw the Fade and some other speedballs in here.
Well, he's going to have to throw the hammer down early if he wants to go ahead and just open up. And will that affect him late if he has to be used too hard? But you always root for War of the Rose. He's one of the coolest horses that we've had around here in recent years.
Made almost a $500,000, little shy of $500,000 in earnings. You go with the closer to round out your top 4. Brighton Lane, Victor Carrasco aboard for Kenny Decker. This horse will save ground and be coming late.
Yeah, I mean,
coming off the layoff.
Here's a horse, right? Kenny Decker hasn't had the greatest of 2019s, let's face it. But Brighton Lane, when he's on his game, his best wins this race, without a doubt. Look back, paired up 89, 87 back in October and November over at Laurel. He can handle the 2 turns. Yeah, he's got only 1 win, but he's got 7 seconds. He's around the money. Working forwardly would not be a surprise at all, Brighton Lane. He's the horse if you're struggling late in the game and you got to try to kind of get out. He's the kind of horse I'm going to go ahead and key top and bottom with some horses and try to catch an exacta.
To get out horse, so you get a big price, a bullet 5 furlong workout, a minute flat, April 29th at Laurel Park. So, just a matter of time before Kenny Decker starts waking up. He did well when he was here in Maryland before, so I expect him to start winning once again. So
absolutely
nice upper level allowance feature going 2 turns on the main track to kick off the late daily double. Let's take a look here at race 9. We're going a mile on the turf, rail setting at 20 feet, claiming 12,500, 3 and up, and I go on the outside here for race 9, the 9 Brickyard Kitten, second off the layoff for trainer Kieran McGee. Horacio Caramanos will ride this horse 1 for 1 on the Pimlico turf. He's a 9-time winner overall on the turf. He's made over $250,000. That's been all on the turf. And last time we saw him, he was running against Starter Allowance Company. His last several races to finish off the 2018 campaign, he beat Starter Allowance Company with a 79 buyer back in July. Then needed a little break, came back. Didn't run so well in October. Had a long winter break. Came back a late April at Laurel Park against 12-5 Starter Allowance Company, going 2 turns on the turf, and ran okay that day. Ran a 61 buyer, got beat 10 lengths. Now second off the layoff, we drop into a claimer. Caramanos gets aboard for Kieran McGee. I'm expecting the 9 Brickyard Kitten to jump up and run a big race.
Stan, you've been around horses a long time. You got to love these turf horses. Extends the longevity of the career they're around. You've got an 11-year-old and Senior Louis who last year made what did he make? $63,000, the same thing.
Sure.
Brickyard Kitten, now a 9-year-old making money, keeping the owners in the game for a long time. You love that. That being said, Brickyard Kitten had a beautiful trip last time. There was a duel up front. I expected him to fire. He just didn't pick it up. Maybe this drop into the tag will do it on his home base here at Pimlico. I like the 1 speed game, but I see no true speed in this race except for the 4 Bay Bridge. I'm looking out at that turf course. It looks beautiful, like a little magic carpet.
Sure.
Maybe we can get a little magic carpet ride for the 4 Bay Bridge to take him flagpole to finish.
Yeah, he's done it before at a big price, coming off a layoff. I know he's second off the a brief freshening today, back in the Marco Salazar barn. I'm expecting him to run better today. See how far he can go. The one speed game comes off the layoff for Jamie Ness. Gets Trevor McCarthy. This horse going to get a ground saving trip. He's a deep closer. And the two Zen's Land coming off the layoff for Ness. You get Daniel Centeno. So top connections here for the one speed game and the two Zen's Land.
Yeah, with speed game, you like that. Ness over his career has done quite well. When he bumps him up in class, he's like 25, 26%. So that bodes well. He finished his year on a good note with that 7-8 buyer over the yearling turf course. He certainly fits perfectly in here. 5 for 7 in the money, 3 wins of 7 tries at this distance. Speed game is a must-use.
All right, it's a nice group of turf routers here in the finale. We like the same 4, right?
Okay,
1, 2, 4, 9 there, and race 9. All right, that's it. We're out of time. Not too many scratches and changes today on opening day. Some nice wagering opportunities. Industry low, 12% takeout on both your pick 5s here at Pimlico, just like at Laurel. And hopefully we'll get some big prices home. You know, some favored, some big prices. Hopefully we'll have it all here on opening day.
Got to make a couple bucks now. Build that bankroll up for next week.
Yeah, Stronach 5.
We're going to have plenty of options
next week. Get the Stronach 5 tomorrow. And hopefully next Friday as well on Black Eyed Tuesday. We'll see. But, yeah, race 9 tomorrow is the second leg of the Stronach 5. That's it. We're out of time. Dave Robin coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.